Okay, and then in 2008, another legal situation happened. So, based on my research, it said that documents revealed from 2008 retrial that Terrance Williams signed an official declaration to give up information in 2 murders, awarding him a sentence reduction. And there's also quote, allegedly from you, I have very valuable, irrefutable information concerning 2 homicides and 1 attempt murder. In documents following that there was an affidavit in support of sentence reduction that was filed on April 25th in 2008. So Terrance Williams confirms that Freeman time that he was bargaining for was in exchange for information that he provided. So explain, I mean, number one, are those accurate statements or no?
Let me say this. First of all, I take full responsibility for that. However, I didn't write that letter to the court. This is what happened. I had a paid attorney, but I learned with paid attorneys, they be stuck in their ways. So in prisons, for some reason, you find some of the best jailhouse lawyers. So I had this older Mexican guy. And every time someone read my transcripts, read my story, they see, they only charge me with 6 ounces of heroin. And they like, you don't have a bad record, you got a life sentence. So he knew from reading my paperwork, because like they had other trials with girls testifying, saying I was a hitman for cash money and all this stuff. So he got all this paperwork. I was in the law library this day. I got him looking over my stuff, but I got my attorney fighting my case. He put the affidavit together. Like I was playing chess with this guy. I was so locked into the chess game, and he bought the paperwork over here, signed this. I signed, and mailed it out to the courts. I had put a 2255 motion in, but that was also mailed into that affidavit, all that stuff you're talking about. When I found out, because one of the detectives wanted to come to the jail to visit me, and I was like, no, he can't come visit me. He had talked with my case manager. So he left the number, I called him, and then, the paperwork came out on my docket sheet about it. So I was like, I talked with the jailhouse lawyer, I was upset. I had talked to my homeboys, because before you do any kind of violent act in prison, you go to your homeboys and you let them know what you're about to do, because it's going to be retaliation behind it, because he was an older Mexican guy. And I had told my homies I was going to stab him, because now this is on docket. Now, it's going to be some consequent repercussion on my end with my people behind this, So some of my homies didn't want me to do it, because it was like, man, in certain prisons, when you got certain calls that will run a prison, and at this prison, Yazoo, my homies had they had GDs, they had it too on lock, but some of my homies had it on lock. And a lot of guys, when they feeding their family, they don't want to go to war. They don't want to get in no fight, because you're going to get transferred. So one of the guys went and told the staff that I was going to stab this guy, my old jailhouse lawyer, behind the act that happened. And I was put in segregation. I got the paperwork for that, and transferred from that prison. But like I say, I take full responsibility for it, because it's on my record. But I want to put this on the record. I've never testified on nobody. Nobody's in prison doing time behind me. I gave up murder for people that were dead, that I knew that did murders. It didn't work out, because they wanted me to tell on people that was alive. So you see, when they filed the motion to the courts, they say, hey, he gave up this, but however, he didn't tell us this. So that's why I didn't get the sentence reduction.